Welcome to Hopscotch-N-Jacks,
a podcast where we take our inner child
back to school to unpack and unlearn
the lessons that shaped us to better ourselves
and our futures. I'm Karen.
And I'm Justice.
Let's go.
And now it's time for our morning announcements.
Do you repeat similar patterns in your relationship that may cause you to continue to pull away or always want more?
In today's episode, we'll discuss how some earlier life experiences shape how we operate in our adult relationships. Specifically, we will be focusing on attachment style theory.
Attachment styles relate directly back to how our inner child experienced unmet needs, communication or lack thereof, fear, and trust.
During the show, we will be referencing insights from Amir Levine and Rachel Miller's book, Attached, the new science of adult attachment and how it can help you find and keep love.
We want to help you identify your attachment styles, either avoidant, anxious, or secure.
How they relate back to your inner child.
How you can heal your insecure attachment styles and better your adult relationships, as well as your relationship with yourself.
Alrighty, so please keep in mind that we are not therapists.
No.
We're not psychologists.
No.
Hell, we're not even your life coach.
Not even.
We're two student teachers trying to navigate our own life.
Yes.
And our own experiences.
Yeah.
In order to better ourselves.
Yeah. And we're hoping you come along for the ride.
Exactly. So strap in and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, don't make it later. All right, so now it's on to our core curriculum today, which is sociology. The core idea of the book, Attached, explains how our connections are wired into us based on our early interactions with our caregivers, which in turn creates an attachment style within us and our relationships.
So how does this theory relate to our childhood?
Well, there's this theory that was first developed through a study of watching kids who were brought into rooms with their mothers. They were observed when their mothers left and then returned. Now, all of the kids cried when discovering that their parents were gone, but when the parents came back, the secure kids returned to playing. The anxious kids refused to let go of their parents, and the avoidant kids let go with resentment.
So that shows how it relates back to your childhood and based on the case study, right?
Yeah.
But can attachment styles also develop later on in life?
Yeah.
When you start experiencing different relationships and so on and so forth?
It does. Like you go into the dating world with your attachment style, and then your experiences with other people can then influence your life. So they talk in the book about how your attachment style is not fixed. You can start off secure, then move into anxious or avoidant, depending on how other people behave in your relationship and how you behave and how you react to it. Not how you behave, but how you react to those things.
Gotcha.
So there are 4 styles, and we're going to briefly touch on those. Now, the secure style is someone who is comfortable with intimacy. They believe in interdependence. They trust easily, and they are effective communicators.
And then you have the anxious who has a craving for closeness, fear of abandonment, seeking assurance, and preoccupation.
Yeah.
And here's a quote from the book. Most people are only as needy as their unmet needs. When their emotional needs are met, they usually turn their attention outward. Anxious types are prone to protest behaviors, doing things just to get attention. That kind of looks like if, for example, they're going to ignore my calls, I'm going to turn my phone off. Or they're going to blow up your phone just to get your attention. Or if they feel like you're not giving them enough attention, I'm going to go out with somebody else.
I had someone who did that.
Went out with somebody else?
No, they would talk about other people, like bring up their ex, bring up someone, they're flirting with at work, or someone who thought they were cute, like that type of shit.
It's just to get you to have a reaction. Kind of like,
I have options.
I have options, or I want to make you feel jealous. Because some people seek someone being jealous as a sign of they really are interested in me.
Yeah. Any attention is better than no attention.
Yeah. even if it's toxic.
I mean, that's exactly what that is, in my opinion. That behavior is toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the avoidant type, they value independence. They are very uncomfortable with intimacy and they have a tendency to withdraw. Now, according to the book, avoidants make up 25% of the population, but you're more likely to meet them in the dating pool than other folks. They say in the book, not only are they recycled back into the dating pool more quickly, but they're generally not dating each other.
Okay.
They are dating people who are anxious more than not, because secure people are less in the dating pool and they generally will bounce as soon as they see this avoidant behavior. They're more likely to attract anxious folks. So the two insecure attachment styles are actually attracting each other.
Interesting.
Yeah. So there is a rare type that is a combination of the anxious and avoidant. And I'll be honest, I at one point fell into that trap, that, rare combination.
Well, is that a trap, or is it's just, at that time in your life, you balance both sides? Like, I feel I took there's a quiz or a test to see what type of attachment type you are in the book, Attached. And I fell between being a avoidant as well as a anxious. I feel, however, when I first came out to LA and when I was dating earlier in my adult life here in LA, I was more secure. And it wasn't until I dated an individual that was living a double life and I had no idea that I fell into a anxious personality type style, because I didn't feel secure anymore. I was like, okay, I was 100% honest with you and straightforward with you, and then you're living a whole nother life in a whole nother country, And so it kind of put my guard up with a lot of people. Now, I didn't become an avoidant because I enjoy emotional connection, right? But I also have dated people who are avoidants, hardcore, and made me feel that my love wasn't worth a shit to them unless it was there for their convenience. So as I entered the dating pool again, I feel like I became an avoidant. I didn't want people to overly attach themselves to me because, one, I wasn't ready.
Right.
Two, I was just trying to figure out what I was interested in again. And then three, I'm like, this is a lot. I'm not ready. So therefore, I pulled back. And that's why I was on and off the apps. I'm not on the apps again anymore. Because I realized some of the people I talked to, even if I did like them, I saw their attachment style. And I wasn't down to be with an avoidant, and I wasn't down to be with the anxious. Right. And so then does that mean I'm secure? Or is it that I'm just recognizing it, and until I have that time again in my life to meet people where they are in life? Like right now, I'm focused on my journey and what I want to do for myself. I'm being a little selfish. I don't think I really take time to take care of me and do the things that I want. I've always been, if I was anxious, trying to help other people out, and as avoidant, trying to figure out ways to avoid. Yeah. And so now I'm like, I don't have that energy right now. So if somebody comes into my life, then hopefully they're secure and I'm secure, and then we can move forward. But right now, just trying to stay focused. What about you?
Well, I took the test twice. I read the book or listened to the audiobook maybe 2 years ago, just when I was getting into a relationship with an avoidant. And it was not good. No. It wasn't good. It was not good.
Especially since part of your love language is I need to be touched.
Yeah. Really wasn't the problem. Okay. That person was into sex, so it was not an issue there. The bigger issue was that she was avoidant and I was anxious avoidant. I had the disorganized anxious avoidant combo.
Got it.
Yeah, so, but the way it presented for me was as soon as I feel anxious, I pull away. I might, depending on the person, give them a chance, or the reason why I feel anxious, I might give them a chance to like explain, to reassure me. But there are times when I'm like, okay, can I talk to you and you're not being receptive, or you're being defensive, or whatever it is. Oh, this is not the reaction I need from someone I'm going to be in a relationship with. I'm out.
Yeah.
But I would not linger. And so I honestly thought for a while that I was secure because of that. But then I read the book and they were like, no, you're not secure, not talking back to me. They weren't talking back. No, Karen, you're not secure.
It's okay. Sometimes the words on the page come to life and it's almost like they're talking to you.
Yeah, but I realized that my biggest problem with my attachment style was that I was really looking for the one. I was looking for perfection. And that's when I realized that I am a combination. I feel like they don't talk about a combination of all three, but I felt that was the case. Ultimately, I rested in anxious avoidant because it fit more than anything else. And if I was actually secure, I wouldn't have been so preoccupied with finding a relationship. Like if it was very important for me at the time to find a relationship, and it needed to be perfect, and I needed to feel the feelings and the butterflies and all that other stuff. And honestly, that stuff just speaks to being anxious. I had to work out that anxiety. So when we were preparing for this episode, I reread the book, or re-listened to the book, and I took the test again, and it told me that I was secure. The book said, hey, Karen, you're secure. For real this time.
I don't know if I'm buying it. I feel like you took it before, so you knew how to answer the questions. You're that student.
No.
Whatever.
I knew that the difference was, at this point in my life, I recognize my worth. I'm not concerned with I would like to find love, but I don't feel like it defines me. And I am okay with being alone. I want to find it. It is not necessary. And that's a very big part that separates secure people from anxious people. And the avoidant aspect, I do still have a little bit of it when the test is ranked. So the secure, I have the highest in secure, but it's followed by avoidant, because the thing about secure folks is that because they don't need the relationship, they only want the relationship.
Yeah.
I avoid in that same way. I'm like, as soon as I see it, I'm out. But I'm not looking for it anymore. Yep. I see the red flags. I recognize them. Some of them are deal breakers, and some of them are things that are just to caution me. So I'm not actually trying to balk at the first sight of a piece of red. You know, that's just a cardboard. It's not a flag. Calm down. Yeah. So I do feel like that I've kind of gotten there, you know, but have you considered like what in your childhood or early development that might have led to that?
I think not having my biological father around and being a part of that family growing up, gave me that sense of abandonment. And that sense of abandonment was based on actions that both of my parents took that were, they were children having children, right? And they weren't emotionally mature enough to be proper parents, whatever that definition is. But the love that I got from my parent, I feel is interesting, because we said it in another episode that the person that is there for you is usually the one that you're talking about in therapy sessions. Yeah. Right? And there's nothing like I consider, there's a lot of red flags, I think, when they were growing up that they weren't able to decipher and figure out for themselves, and they had to learn while raising kids. And so with that said, there is this sense of, yes, they're there for me. And so that's where I feel like secure, like I can always have that. But at any moment, it was also instilled, I don't have to be there for you. And so that fear of abandonment means I need to either walk along this path to make sure that my parents hear from me. Because if I go this way, there's a possibility they won't be there for me. So yeah, I can see the anxious part of that coming through. I can also see the avoidant part coming through, where it's just at some time in my life, I was like, all right, fine, you won't be there, you won't be there. I can do it by myself. And I had to learn to do it by myself. That's probably why it was so easy for me to move out here to California. Like, I know I still to this day have security in case something were to happen, but I feel secure enough with myself to be like, I can manage and do this stuff by myself and learn a different way of living. And I'm okay with that. And I realized that when I would take visits back home, I'm like, I don't even think like that. You know, oh, I can do this way. You know, growth. And so knowing that, I know that I can be by myself. And that's probably another reason why I'm on and off the apps. It's not just about being with people. It's like, I don't really need to be with somebody. You know, because I know what I'm worth and I know what I have to offer. And if that person or people that I'm talking to, because one thing I haven't done is date multiple people at the same time. I don't know why I can't do that. I don't know why. I've always been one person. You know? And that's it. But yeah, so that's how I know, you know, from my growing up and then relationships I've been in out here, I think really drove me to the point of really being anxious and really being an avoidant. Because even though I can go back to my childhood, I also can say when I came out here, I was pretty secure with my relationships. You know, until that one incident. So.
And you don't think that had anything to do with that being your first woman to date?
I got to learn how women are.
That's not how women are, though.
Dude, tell me that women are not. There's some. Look, I love women.
Some
apparently.
or all.
There are a few women out there that. Look, maybe it's the ones I've dated. I've just hit. I don't know. Maybe I'm hitting the wrong group of women. So. Costco, here I come.
Hilarious. Well, I was just getting at the fact that if you were more secure with guys, it might have been because you were not into guys that way. And it was only a woman who, the reason why it hurt so much is because you were invested in this relationship with the woman. But maybe that's not the case.
What about you? Have you been able to identify where you... Like
what happened in my childhood?
That made you,
Well, I don't think there was any one particular moment because for the most part, I think that I was secure. It's just that I feel like most of my childhood, I didn't get the affection that I needed.
That you craved for.
Yeah, that I needed. It was more than a craving. It was a desire for more the parental and the caregiver. Because it was more than just my mom who was caring for me. My grandmother was a big part of that, and my older sister, my brother to an extent, but it was mostly them. And my sister is loving with me now. But, at the time she was, 16 years old or
she was a teenager
taking care of a little kid she did not want to be taken care of. And she was getting paid for it, but that still was a responsibility that she did not ask for.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of older kids are like, I didn't have the kid, you did, Ma.
Exactly.
You did, Pa. I want to go out with my friends.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
In Mississippi.
I want to go to the cornfields.
But yeah, so I think that there was just a big part of me that craved that affection that I really didn't get. And so I in that respect, I taught myself not to need it. And so that is the avoiding part. Like, if I feel like I am not wanted in a relationship, this isn't gonna work. I dated somebody who liked to say, you know, we're not gonna see each other after this. Like, this is over. And I was like, you need to stop saying that, because the more you say it, the more I want it to be over. And I'm going to walk away, because this is not the way to keep me. That's protest behavior, and it's not it.
I've had relationships like that where it was like off on. And then it got to the point where I was like, you know what? I just need to pull myself out of this equation. This equation is not working. It's like we're trying to say 1 + 2 = 1, but it equals 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not able to understand that,
1.5.
you know, if you're not able to figure that out, then I'm just going to remove myself completely, and you do your thing and I do my thing. And maybe by us doing things separately, we both can grow.
Right.
And you can start adding correctly. Because I'm tired of doing all. Because
this is not 1 + 1. It's 1.5. God damn it.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I that's the work that I've done in figuring stuff out. But I am happy to report once again that I am secure, and that's lovely for me.
And I'm single, future and that's lovely for me. Thank you very much.
I'm happy for you, friend.
Thank you. In the book Attach, it talks about how anxious attachment style types, as well as avoidance, create a trap between themselves. And this trap is that anxious individuals will pursue and avoidant individuals will withdraw. And so it kind of goes back in this back and forth painful cycle. And so how does this cycle work? Let's just get into it. The anxious pursues, like I said, right? So that means they will reach out. They will try to get close. They'll call. They might send you your favorite song via text. They might send pictures of themselves and all that good stuff and tell you everything you want to hear.
Yeah.
And then the avoidant who's receiving all of this just can't receive it. They feel overwhelmed. They feel stifled. They feel like, oh my God, you're just taking up all my oxygen right now. Can you just pause for a minute? Let me breathe. Let me catch up. Let me figure this out.
If they communicate.
If they communicate, which most of the time they don't. And so they don't respond to all of these things that an anxious individual is giving them. And so since there's no response, or the response is, yo, I'm overwhelmed, you know, if they do communicate, there's a trigger that goes off in the anxious individual. Okay. And so in order for them to try to explain themselves, they pursue harder. They say things like, no, this is what I mean. Or I sent this to you because I want you to know how much I like you.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want to scare you off. And all this other stuff, right?
If they're communicating.
And usually the anxious person does over communicate.
Yeah.
Right? And so in this regard, this sends the avoidant to be triggered. And their trigger is usually, they ain't listening to me. I'm just going to avoid them. I'm just going to withdraw.
Yeah.
Deuces. You know?
2 fingers.
And that is a constant cycle. And then you get these people in these dating apps being like, oh, I talked to so-and-so and they were just blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what's blah, 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 blah? I say that when I don't have any language to speak. I'm speaking in tongues here. But, or they get upset. It's like, I was really trying to be with this person and they just shoved me off.
Right.
You know, not understanding that you need to read the room. And I think that's where anxious types fail. They don't read the room. You know, and it's a little sad at times because they come off looking desperate versus as looking caring. And I can fall in that. I probably fell in that at one point. And it's not their fault. It's just that they're looking for love. And then the avoidant is looking like an asshole, right? And they just probably an asshole. I have nothing to say.
I mean, I don't think that they are.
The fact that I can also be an avoidant.
That's one thing too. Also, I know that I have been that in the past. And I think that a lot of people are. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, mostly on Reddit, complaining about how the book is unfair to them because it paints the anxious person as the victim to their malicious withdrawing. And I don't think that the book does quite that, but I can understand where they're coming from because there are a lot of things that help the anxious. It's basically like, hey, the anxious people are, getting shafted a little bit because they're attracting avoidants who don't actually help them. And actually, one of the things in the book, they talk about how self-help books or books that are about relationships not tell anxious people, but tell people in general that one of the ways to get people is by playing games. Mm-hmm. And that is just not the best way to do that.
Yeah.
Like, you are not going to attract a secure person by playing games, because a secure person is not interested in games. They're interested in relationships that are healthy. And so you playing a game, you playing hard to get, you blowing up people's phones, all of that is just a red flag to someone who's secure. And they're just like, oh, no, that's not going to work. So the only people it's going to work with are the avoidant people. And so it's kind of a problem. So it's not anyone's fault, really. But the thing is, you can shift that.
That's the good news about it.
That's the good news. The good news is that you can shift your attachment style, and it begins with reparenting your innie. So the authors of the book emphasize that while our attachment styles are formed early, they are not fixed. With conscious effort, we can begin to move towards greater security.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And so in order to move towards greater security, here's some strategies for anxious individuals to do in order to break their patterns. Let's start off with something that I would like to get into, but trying to figure that one out. Dating multiple people. What do you think about that?
That's one of the things that I've done that I do think has helped me. And to be clear, I don't think I started doing this with this book, but with a couple of other books that I read, like How Not to Die Alone and what's the other one? Calling in the One. Both of them suggested dating multiple people. And so I've actually been doing that for the last 1.5 to 2 years.
So the book, How Not to Die Alone. Mm-hmm. So does it teach you to date multiple people at different stages in their lives, like one close to death, one not close to death? I'm trying to picture this one.
Hilarious. No, I think it's just more how to break your patterns and find love, attract love. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it might even be the long title, something similar to that, but it's by Logan Ury, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, but both that book, Attached, and Calling in the One all suggest that you date multiple people. And the reason you want to do that is because it keeps you from focusing on one person. Mm-hmm. If you are focused on one person, you're putting all of your fantasy, all of your desires, all of your wishes, hopes, and dreams into this one person who might not be that person for you. You're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs, as they say. And if you're doing that all at once, then you can hopefully not push away someone who might be good for you, because you are putting too much pressure on that one person and that one relationship.
So instead, I can put all the pressure on multiple people.
The point is that
would be a power.
Right?
I just push 10 people away at the same time.
That's like a Sonic thing. But you ideally do not push them away, because if And it's another thing is like, you don't need all of this attention from this one person. You're not hitting them with every meme you see. You can hit multiple people with, I'm going to send this one to this one, this one on this one, this one. And, ideally you're not sending the same memes to everybody.
Well,
because that would defeat the purpose.
Well, with all the apps that's out, sometimes it's easier to just hit send and it goes to everyone.
Sure, but that is defeating the purpose.
Well, we want things to happen quick these days, and you know what?
And that's the point.
If I get back on these apps, I'm gonna put that in my bio.
What?
I am practicing a strategy to break a pattern, and I am dating multiple people.
Yeah. And a lot of people will say, I've seen on the app, I'm not into multi-dating. And if you're not into multi-dating, then you cannot date me, because I'm generally dating multiple people for the purpose of not putting all of my attention on one person, where I am essentially giving them my all, expecting all of that to be returned. And maybe, my person is going to be someone who only dates one person at a time. And hopefully they will understand where I'm coming from.
I'm not at the courting stage right now.
Exactly.
I'm at the player.
That is not the stage I'm at. I am not dating casually. I'm dating with intention.
Okay. I'm intentionally dating casually.
There you go.
Boom. What's another way we can break a pattern?
Yeah. You can ask to be set up. You can ask your favorite people, your friends, your family, and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. You know me. Hopefully you know someone who would be good for me. Please set me up. Yeah. It's funny. I listen to Nicole Byers' Why Won't You Date Me? Mm-hmm. And she talks a lot about asking people to set her up. Like, she'll ask the guests who come on the show to set her up, and almost everybody will respond and say, I don't know anyone good. Everyone I know is single for a reason, which is crazy. Wow. But it's true. Like, the best thing about being set up is that more than likely you're going to be set up with someone who is a good person, who is probably intentional, who probably won't screw you over because they're being vetted. But the issue is people don't want to recommend somebody, because if they do screw you over, then you're upset with me because I set you up with someone who screwed you over.
I mean, it is a big responsibility, and you're hoping that if I'm going to set you up with somebody, you'll take this a little bit more serious than you have.
So if you're set up, you have a good chance, a likely chance of having a successful match. But if you're not set up, then it's probably because they don't want to be the catalyst to your broken heart.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And another way that we can do this, anxious individuals, is avoid dating avoidance. So why would you want to avoid avoidance? What do you think?
The reason you want to avoid avoidance is because typically they're the people who are going to be the worst for you to date. Avoidant people are like, it's like chocolate for dogs. They're going to send you to the vet. They're going to send you to your therapist, because they're going to push you away when the thing that you want most is to be close.
Yeah, and it's not the yin and the yang right here. It's just, no.
I mean, if you're
No.
If you're getting with an avoidant, make sure it's an avoidant who's actually doing the work. Like, if they're saying that they are avoidant, you should take that at their word. As Maya Angelou says, believe people when they tell you who they are.
Yep.
Do not date someone thinking that you're going to change them. They have to want to change. If you want to get into a good, secure relationship, get into a relationship with a secure person. A secure person is going to be okay with alleviating you of your fears. If you say, hey, I feel anxious, that secure person is going to say, why are you anxious? Okay, well, the reason I was not available is because I was on a retreat for work and I told you about that. Remember, you can't call me and expect me to answer when I told you that I was not going to be available. An avoidant person is going to respond to your anxious, why haven't you called me back, with block.
Exactly.
So you can't do that.
Yeah, I think that's important right there. Is like the secure person will show understanding and take that time to be patient to walk and talk through it.
Because they are secure.
Yes.
An avoidant person is going to avoid because what? They're avoidant.
They're avoidant. Another way is by developing self-awareness, practicing mindfulness, building self-esteem, which is definitely needed. I think focusing on building self-esteem, you can't move forward with anybody unless you are happy with the person you are.
Yeah.
So get that going.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important not to think that your worth is tied to your relationship or someone else loving you.
Yep.
And another way is to communicate your needs clearly and set boundaries. You want to say, hey, I don't want to be in a relationship or a situationship for longer than X amount of time without a label. And if you set that early, they know what is coming. You shouldn't have to give like an ultimatum or anything else, because if that person knows who you are and respects where you are in your life, they should know that this is what you need. I'm not interested in being in a relationship with someone who ghosts me for 5 days out of the week, or I can only see them on Sunday or whatever. Like, you building that self-esteem will help you set that boundary and make sure you communicate those.
And understanding that it's up to you to hold those boundaries.
Yeah.
If they decide to date you for 6 months and not give you a title because that's something that you need, and you decide to keep moving forward with them, then you broke the boundary that you set.
You only have yourself to blame.
You have yourself to blame. So you can't put all the fault on them. And make sure it's a boundary and not a rule.
Yeah,
because once you start setting rules, I think if you try to set boundaries, that's going to be out the door with the avoidant as well.
Exactly.
And we touched on before, like rules versus a boundary.
Yeah. Go back to that episode.
Yeah, go back to that episode.
Get those views up. Come on now.
Yeah. In that episode, we went in and explained like setting a rule, like I don't want you to do this at this time, versus, hey, this is a boundary of mine. It makes me feel uncomfortable when this is happening here. Is there a way that we can shift this or make this work for the both of us? This is where I feel comfortable with. Do you respect that? Yes. Okay. And then if they push that boundary and go outside your comfort zone, then you need to own up or step up to whatever you need to do for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the next thing is seeking professional help.
Yeah.
Again, we're not psychologists.
Not us.
We're not therapists. You come into the station, this podcast, and listening. This is a self-help for yourself, but we are just offering advice and
based on experience only.
Based on experience and some learnings and teachings that we've read into and we're trying to navigate and understand in our own lives. So if you're looking to get professional help, after watching this episode, go for it. That's where the icing meets the cake.
Yeah. Bring them this episode and, tell them that they can come on as a professional help.
Yeah, and they can always leave a comment, and share it out and all that good stuff and refer us to their patients.
Refer their patients to us.
Yeah. Go watch this show about Hopscotch-N-Jacks. This is really good.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Here's 2. Ding.
Okay, so we have some strategies for the avoidant types to repair their attachment style. And the first one is to recognize your deactivating strategies. Now, we didn't really go into what those are, so we're just going to we're going to tell you what they are as you work to deactivate those deactivating strategies. And the first one is to de-emphasize your self-reliance. An avoidant person is generally someone who is all independent, never wants to depend on people for anything, especially their emotional well-being. And they're very, very self-reliant. And you don't want to do that. You do need people. We need community. We need friends, family, etc. And love.
Self-reliance is I think it's a powerful thing, and I say it's a superpower for all of us to have. But sometimes when you become too focused on your self-reliance, you miss out on the help from the person or people or friends who are there to actually help elevate you and get you to that next level that you're trying to reach, that you just can't get there by yourself. Or you can get there by yourself, but it's going to take you longer to get there.
And it's going to be less satisfying.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where if you want to open up and allow people to help you, that's great. But don't take that as someone trying to get rid of your independence, or trying to make you codependent, or trying to cause you to lose control over your business, your life, your relationship, your home, or whatever. Sometimes somebody's just there to help.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
The next thing I would say is find yourself a secure partner. Avoidant might not like being with a secure partner because they're going to make you see you for who you are. They're not going to be afraid to shut it down when it needs to get shut down, or say, you know what, how you're treating me isn't acceptable. And I love myself enough to walk away, because it's not that I need to be with you, it's that I want to be with you.
Exactly.
And avoidants aren't used to people who are that secure with themselves to be like, I don't need you.
Right.
You know? What else, friend?
That next thing is the Phantom X. You want to nix that Phantom X. There are a lot of people who are friends with their exes, or they have their ex that they recycle every once in a while, that ex that circles the block for them every once in a while. And that's not actually a healthy thing. Holding on to the Phantom X, that one that got away or whatever, like you're holding on to something that's not real. Move on to the next and stop holding on to your ex. The last one is forgetting the one. Let that one go. One thing that I recognized in myself when I read the book was that one who's perfect, that A++. There is no such thing. There is no one who's going to have 100% of everything that you want, and you're going to be 100% of what they want. Unrealistic. It is a fairy tale. You want to get with someone who has a good percentage, whatever percentage you're comfortable with, that's not 100 or 99.9%. You know, that is just unrealistic. You have to find someone who satisfies your needs, who you can do the same for, and not settle, but be happy.
I agree.
That's one of the things that I recognize in myself. Yeah. That was very avoidant, that I was looking for the one, and I think it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think I've never been friends with my exes, and I think I was trying to be friends with my ex, and it's not easy trying to be that friend, because there's a lot of things that still hasn't healed, and a lot of things that have not been said or dealt with because it's been avoided. And, you know, sometimes avoidance will come back into your life just because they know that's a safe place for them to go.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to recommit or try to, they can be there and then they can be out. You know, and, you know, anxious people, they do the same thing. They allow that person to come back because they're like, oh, they really do love me, you know? And they have that Disney fantasy that they're real love. If you love someone, you let them go. And then if they're meant to be for you, then they come back. And the thing is I thought about this before, is I believe people can come back into your life.
Yeah.
But it's not the version that you left. It's not the version that you broke up with. If that version comes back into your life, run.
Yep.
If there's a new version of them and a new version of you, because let's face it, you have to do the work on yourself. And you two have done the work independently, and this is a whole new stage and journey for you both, and you think it makes sense for you guys to reconnect, go for it. But don't date the person that did not respect you and was the reason why you broke up in the first place.
Yep. All you're going to do is repeat a cycle.
So break it and let's keep it moving, because I think as student teachers, we did a good job. What do you think?
I do. I agree.
You know? So
I think this was it. Yeah.
talk to your therapist if you need extra help. So for homework, we would like for you to figure out which attachment style resonates most with you. Download the book on Audible, or better yet, you can buy it on Amazon, attached, and you can take their quiz, and you can see if you're a secure, an anxious, or a avoidant. Or maybe you are a mixture of both, avoidant and anxious. See how your inner child fears shows up in your current adult relationships and what you can do to heal that. And if you don't want to do that, you can also
write a letter to your younger self and acknowledge how they learned to cope, and let them know what you want to do now, what you're going to do now to heal that any pain that they feel.
awesome.
Yeah. And now we're going to go after school. We take a dip in the pool, which is really on the wall. I have a color TV to watch the Knicks play basketball. Swish. So, what I'm working on right about now is my arms still. No, I am still working on getting my body right, as they say. I am working on my physical health. My annual is coming up soon, and it is time to see what the doctor's gonna tell me about my blood work and whatnot. I got the sugar. I hope I don't have the sugar. That'd be terrible. But yeah, I'm actually trying to make sure that I am doing my due diligence in staying healthy. What about you, my friend?
It's been a minute, but I think I need to make some plans to take myself on a vacation.
Oh.
You know, I've been vacationing with others or haven't really done it by myself in years.
You're doing a solo?
I need to do a solo.
Okay.
You know, maybe I'll bring my dog. Who knows?
Yeah.
It'll be nice. He needs to get out as well and see the world.
He would not like you leaving him.
He apparently he didn't like me going downstairs.
He did not.
Yeah,
He got loud.
He has an anxious attachment style.
He does. He was like, Mommy's gone.
I don't know who you are. I do, but you're not my mommy.
I mean, he got excited. He gets excited when I come over, so.
So, yeah. So that's what I want to do. I want to, you know, vacation, take myself on a vacation.
Yeah.
I already take myself on dates and
Look at
the
you.
clubs and stuff. So now I'm ready to move on to getting on a plane and going someplace.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal.
So what about self-care? What are you going to do for yourself, self-care?
Well, my mama's coming, so I'm gonna be hanging with my mom. Yes, I'm gonna make her give me hugs. I'm gonna tell her not to pat my back. She does that church hug thing, and I'm just like, nope. Don't pat my back. A little longer, a little tighter. Come on, you can do it. I told you we're working on that. Getting my part of my reparenting my innie is making my parent reparent her innie.
No, that's good. Sometimes it's good for both of you guys to do the work at the same time.
So yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
What about you?
For me, in order for me to get ready for my vacation, I need to continue to hit the gym like I normally do and lay out by the pool. Get used to going to the pool, putting on a swimming suit and everything, you know, for myself versus for somebody else. and enjoying myself there.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Lay out by the pool, get a little tan, get that vitamin D.
Indeed. Okay.
You know?
All right. It's time for the time capsule.
It's time for the time capsule.
It's time for the time capsule. It's time for the time capsule. Okay, so I went to the arcade recently.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna pull out those basketball games, those arcade jumper, 3-pointer games.
Dave and Buster's. Let's go.
It wasn't Dave and Buster's, but I got my ass whipped. I ain't like it. I'm usually doing that. I'm sorry. But yeah, I need to brush up on that. But I used to spend a little time in the game rooms when I was a kid, and that was good fun. And they don't have enough of those adult games rooms for my taste. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed it. So I am pulling out the arcade basketball games. Yeah.
Those were good dates. I enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
And playing the little gun ones, killing the zombies. Pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. We played a lot of different games too, but yeah.
That was the one you got your ass beat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, yeah, I did. I'm not gonna front.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
I'm pulling out the mixtape.
Okay. Player.
One of the things I have been disconnected to is my music. I grew up doing music. I came out here as a professional dancer. That is part of my love language. I love a good mixtape.
Yeah.
And something that me and my partner can listen to, whether if we're cooking in the kitchen or just having the conversation and the music's playing in the background, and doing things like that, and sending that song over to that person so that they know that I'm thinking about them, and maybe that's a song that we connect with. That's something I miss doing, and I haven't done it in years. And so yeah, I'm gonna get back to my mixed motherfucking tape. Woo 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 woo.
All right. Is it going to be a tape or is it going to be a CD or just like a playlist?
Well, it's 2025, so it's probably going to be like a Spotify.
Okay, gotcha. Good deal. Well, I think we did it.
I think we did it. Good job, teacher. Boom.
Boom.
Good job. So if you want to get on our good side and want to do a lot of extra credit,
you can't bring us apples, but you can follow us
on Hopscotch-N-Jacks Pod on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can also write to us at hopscotchnjackspod@gmail.com. And let us know what you think about the show. Tell us about yourself and maybe share a story that you want us to talk about or a topic that you would like for us to touch on. And if you really want that extra credit, try to get to know us at
Karen Got This
and at Art of Justice with the IS, not an ICE, both on Instagram and all of the social media platforms.
That's a lie. I'm only on Instagram.
Oh, yep. Okay. And like, follow, and comment below, and better yet, subscribe.
Yeah.
I think we did it.
We did. Peace.